Yo, what is good, YouTube? It's your boy, Lyle Tough AF. I know it's been a minute, but this past Sunday, we got first place out of 5 rounds of Swiss. There was about 25 people there. And we played, that's right, you guessed it, the ABC 1, 2, 3. Our matchups that day were round 1 pure Eldritch, round 2 was Sky Striker Eldritch, round 3 was Dogmatica, Shadal, and Vote. Round 4 was Guru. And the final round was PK Fire. It was wild. We 2-0'd the first 3 rounds, and then the last ones were 2-1. The deck performed really well, and I'll get right into this deck list for you. You've got 3A, 3B, and 2C. I really don't like this ratio. I prefer the 2-3-2, but A has become a better card over time, being able to recur the resources, being able to help you out in situations during the grind game, with being able to pitch it off a buster or being able to use it for protection with your other monsters and being able to equip them, like say your Cyber Dragon Infinity or whatever else have you. And the combo with your C's, depending on how many pieces you open with your Hangar, is amazing, which I can get to that in a bit. Then you've got your 2Ds, the drivers. The reason that I play 2, this card is phenomenal. Obviously, I'm not a fan of, like, there's a lot of people that are just playing the 1. The reason that I play 2 is, 1, you don't want to draw it. 2, if you do draw it, then you're dinked for your plays, but also the sheer fact of being able to have a follow-up play, being able to continue going with your play. And depending on how you go about this, you can recur this with A from your graveyard, just in case you do open one as well, and being able to combo it with C to be able to make an infinity. That rounds off all your Union monsters. Then you've got 3 Galaxy Soldier, and then the Photon Orbital, which is amazing since it got its reprint. It makes it so much cheaper now to be able to play. The reason that I'm playing 3 Galaxy Soldiers is I do like the carrier play, being able to go into infinity, but if I can hard open this card to be able to use the carrier or make a different link 2 altogether to help solidify my plays. So if I can go into, let's just say, an IP or a different link 2 that will help me versus the carrier, or if I want extra protection on either Buster or the Infinity without having to use it for the Photon Orbital, then I might as well. Now, that is all your monsters for the most part, besides these hand traps. I play 3 Skullmeister, 3 Ash, 3 Nibiru, and then the Gamma package. Everything for these hand traps, I really liked Gamma. This card was phenomenal this weekend. The Nibirus were really good. The Ash is Ash. Miester, I know there's people playing Ghost Spell. My preference, I like this card a lot better. It's not a once per turn, and you can keep going with it, like to stop different graveyard effects. So it was just my cup of tea, and it worked out well this weekend. That's all for monsters now. You've got 3 Hangar, 4 Hangar, 5, 6, 7 Hangars, and then 8, 9, 10. You have 10 Hangars in the deck. This card is amazing. I can go over what cards I prefer to banish off of this card. It's really nice being able to see these multiple Hangars so that you can go ahead and establish a board to be able to pump through your opponent. This card is also amazing being able to save an Infinity or a Buster or any piece that you need to kick off. I've used it on a carrier because after I brought out the Galaxy Soldiers, because I didn't have to use it for its effect, this card, I had to use it to go ahead and protect my carrier. So I equipped an A to it, and then I was able to use carrier's effect to target itself to then be able to equip the B, which I pitched the C off of a Galaxy Soldier effect, so then I was still able to make my Buster. And the last 3 cards to round off this list are 3 Solemn Strikes. Strike is a really powerful card right now in the format. Going first and or second, able to stop opponents' effects and be able to break down their boards. Now we'll go ahead and go into the extra deck. You got this amazing Field Center. Got these dope-ass tokens. But you don't really care about all those. You've got your 3 Buster Dragons. Depending on the state of the game and where you are at, you can go ahead and banish one of these off of the pot. It's a really hard call to do that just because of the sheer fact that that 3rd Buster can come up in time, and being able to manage your resources to make sure that you will be able to end the duel as soon as possible. Now we're going into our Link 2s. So you've got IP, which is standard, you've got the Carrier, which is standard, and a Phoenix, which is standard. The Lambda, though, you don't see too often. And depending on my opening hand, if I have a Gamma along with a, it's very situational, but if it does come up, if you have multiple pieces in your hand with Gamma, you're able to make sure that that Gamma is live, and then that Gamma can become an IP or the Carrier, depending on how you want to go about it. Having multiple interruptions is so much better. This card put in so much work this past weekend, just being able to stop my opponent, and if they did stop me in a part of the play, then I'm able to just go ahead and go, alright, Gamma, okay, here's a second Gamma for you. And then for the Link 3s, you've got the Nightmare Unicorn, which is standard, and then Decode Talker. The theory behind Decode Talker, if you really want to know, is I didn't have another Link 3 option. I wanted another Link 3 option to go into, and for the most part, he's basically just fodder. But Trisbania would be a good Link 3 to go into, just because being able to banish my opponent's back row and everything else. Having something that I can just link them all away to go into something that can get bigger and be able to do something. This card doesn't do a whole lot, not as much anymore. But I just needed a different Link 3 and I didn't have any others. Link 4s, you got BorrelSword and the Apollo. I've thought about access code, but I feel like these 2 are the better option, just with me, with my playstyle just going off. Access code, like, it's basically this. Like, if I want to pop things, I can pop it with Buster or this, that, and the other before I go into anything. And then this is just to make sure the victory's had. And then your 1 Link 5, which is the Underworld Goddess. This card is amazing. Being able to snag my opponent's Dragoon, being able to get rid of cards that are problematic that I cannot normally deal with, and go from that point. And being able to negate the graveyard effects is amazing. Being able to stop all kinds of different things. Like against PK Fire, just being able to go, nope, you can't do that. Nope, you can't do that. Then for the Xyz, I play the 1 Daigusto Emerald. It hasn't really come up at all. And depending on how early in the duel, I normally just get rid of this card because all the other cards in here are utility. It's not really seen the light of day. And then the rest of your Cyber Dragon package. Need this and this to be able to do the things. Now for the sideboard. We had our 3 Lanceas for the Eldritch matchups. Then you had your 3 Droll and Lockbirds. I wish I could have used these, but they didn't do anything for me at all. The Lanceas put in work because of PK Fire, and then the Eldritch matchups I had. But these cards, I didn't get to see Drytron at all. It was there, but I just didn't come across it. Then you've got the 1 Imperial Order, which is really strong. It put in work against the Sky Striker. Then the 3 Judgments. This was a phenomenal card. Being able to go against... Wow, I'm having a blonde moment. Going against the Guru player, being able to just go no. Because they like to say no to us a lot. Now, these 3 cards are not the same 3 cards. I was able to borrow 3 Lightning Storms, and I would prefer to play the Lightning Storms, but just as an option, these are cards that I would play over that if you don't have that option. And the last 2, I have to get droplets. Like, Droplet is a phenomenal card, and I would, like, that I don't feel is interchangeable. Just because it's a quick play, and I'm being able to stop VFD and be able to continue through all of my plays to be able to make sure that I'm going to pop off and not get bopped left and right. But say you have Hangar and you open 2 pieces. Let's just say you opened a B and an A as a hypothetical here. Or if you open C, it's fine. Like C and a B, that's like you're still going to get to the trifecta. You activate your Hangar, you go ahead and then activate your C Crush Wyvern. You go ahead and normal summon the Sea Crush Wyvern. You'll go ahead and go from this point to go into the driver. The driver will then banish himself, sending himself to the Shadow Realm. And then you'll go ahead and equip another C. But this is also a good way to bluff out your opponent depending if you're feeling froggy. Being able to go C, link these 2 off, they go to Graveyard Land, and then you're able to trigger both of these cards in your hand, and you have the link 2. Then you can go into the carrier play here if needed. Otherwise, IP. Being able to go IP right here, and then you just do everything else normally with your carrier play. I hope this was informative to you guys, and I hope to play in a few more tournaments. Live, bigger tournaments would be phenomenal. But peace out, my dudes.